On a night where the term Night of Champions is the subtitle, the event looks less like a Vengeance show and more of a Night of Champions show. Probably why the Night of Champions concept was created a year later and Vengeance was thrown in the garbage.
It will be Edge defending against Batista.
For the third consecutive pay-per-view in a row, and people who have had complaints about wrestlers getting constant opportunities. Here we have Dave Batista getting 3 consecutive pay-per-view title opportunities and losing all 3 times.
4 former world champions.
Yep, on a night where we could have possible new champions who have yet to win certain titles, instead we are gonna have 4 former world champions being the challenger of the main world title tonight.
Every championship will be on the line.
That's literally the second time in less than a minute that the announcer stated that in this opening promo to Vengeance. Vengeance opens with Randy Orton's Pyro. Bet Randy is about to give the pyrotechnician an RKO after seeing that. I'll be honest, this was a nice touch to the show, to have former champions of certain titles be at ringside to witness the same title be defended. Honestly, one of the coolest decisions to do on this Night of Champions.
I'm still just amazed at this reception!
After all these years of the Hardy Boys being a massive influence in the WWE, how is Jerry Lawler surprised at all by the crowd reception when they make their entrances? Who farted sign? Lance K believes that messing with Matt Hardy is a good idea. Messing with any wrestler, especially when your title is on the line, is never a good idea.
Hands by Matt Hardy and...
Trevor Murdoch's slight hesitation is what allowed Matt to take advantage and punch him out of the ring, when Trevor could have used that precious 1 second to punch Matt instead.
I don't want to cover now by...
There are 2 sins for this occasion. The first one is because the referee took forever just to realize that there was a pinfall going on. And the second one is because Lance kicked out at 0, not 1, and yet this somehow qualifies as a 1 count.
I'm not going to even bother to state the obvious here.
Because I went forward in time and thought that some YouTuber from Canada would call me out on it if I did.
Oh, I see. There.
Jeff Hardy didn't land from that neck breaker correctly and on time. Oh well, better try again next time, Jeff.
I would read your mind, but the print's too small.
What?
Right. And they were having, a protest?
Seriously? A veteran like Matt Hardy fell for a simple begging for mercy trick, one of the oldest tricks in the book of a heel wrestler? I don't get it. How does that plan still work?
I'm not so sure Jeff Hardy's aware.
That's Matt Hardy, not Jeff. That's like the 10,000th time Jim Ross has mixed up both the Hardy Boys, isn't it? The cameraman's spending too much time trying to focus on Trevor Murdoch's left eye when he should really be focusing on Lance Cade assaulting Matt Hardy.
Cade, tag titles at stake.
The referee once again hesitating to count Lance's shoulders, which is what ultimately cost the Hardy Boys the victory tonight.
Oh, what's it here?
Lance was watching Jeff the entire time and could have easily moved out of the way from the whisper in the wind.
Twist of fate by Jeff Hardy.
Here is 5 freaking sins for JR mixing up a freaking whisper in the wind for the freaking twist of fate. Jesus, that was bad.
We'll be facing 4 other top contenders.
That one moment when you realize that this main event WWE title match is labeled a 5-pack challenge, which makes me envision someone with an odd number of abs. Why can't we just call it a fatal 5-way? Another few center movers for showcasing some of the best moments in championship history, and because I miss Eddie Guerrero just like everyone else does.
He should be at home here in Texas.
Despite the fact that Jimmy Wang Yang was clearly announced as being from Georgia, not Texas.
And look at Jimmy Wang.
Chavo Guerrero clearly kicked out before there could even be a 1 count. So, second match in a row where this was clearly a no count.
Oh, look at Chavo.
Jimmy fell for that.
You ever been to a Guerrero family reunion? I have.
Who in the Guerrero family would even think about inviting JBL to a Guerrero family reunion when he is clearly not a Guerrero?
Hands.
Removing a sin for that awesome athleticism from Jimmy Wang Yang right there.
The name Guerrero means warrior.
It's like the second or third time in this match that JBL has pointed out the fact of Guerrero translating to warrior in English. I would say that inverted atomic drop did some damage to Chavo Guerrero's, but unfortunately you can clearly see that Jimmy Wang Yang's knee was so far away from the target. Good lord, can someone please explain why WWE didn't give Jimmy Wang Yang a chance in his WWE career? Like seriously, the athleticism is fucking amazing.
I wouldn't call it a tribute.
Michael Cole was an asshole. Chavo was clearly tributing his late Uncle Eddie by hitting the 3 amigos, and Michael automatically assumes he's taunting Eddie instead. Asshole. Jesus, slow the fuck down with your count, you stupid referee. He might secretly be a Chavo Guerrero hater and wanted him to lose the title by any means necessary, even if it included a fast count. Previously on WWE.
The human suplex machine.
Joey Styles reciting all the nicknames of Taz, who is literally sitting right beside him. Could have just said Taz and move on. Can't believe it's been so very, very long since I last said this. Say it with me, everyone. Oh my kill switch! The back of CM Punk's shirt accidentally foreshadows the title for Jeff Hardy's documentary My Life, My Rules, a wrestler coincidentally tossed out of the WWE for 8 years by CM Punk.
Johnny Nitro, the A-lister.
Isn't it ironic that Johnny Nitro is known as the A-lister here tonight, and then his future tag team partner, The Miz, goes under that same nickname in about a decade from now?
Being a world champion is the fulfillment of all of their dreams.
Not really, no.
Well, you don't want to get too frustrated to lose.
Taz is correct. You should never get too frustrated to lose your cool. I wonder, does Taz have a habit of saying frustrated or something? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Johnny Nitro was told that he was going to be taking on CM Punk.
Like 30 minutes or something before the match began.
Throwing fist pump.
Had to look away in embarrassment after realizing that CM Punk did not connect with Johnny Nitro's face or close to it at all in that kick.
He's got the legs. Punk.
Gonna give another center mover for the hilarious way Johnny slipped out of that pinfall attempt by CM Punk.
You should be careful tonight, man.
You should too. I know for a fact Randy Orton would hate to have to be put through more thumbtacks at the hands of Mick Foley just like 3 years ago.
Is that I won that match.
Barely. That one moment when you realize that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat looks a lot older in 2007 compared to 2009 when he got back into the ring.
Did you say farewell?
I listened to Jim Ross's previous statement, and no, he did not say the word farewell at any point in that statement. Jerry Lawler just wants an excuse to say things. Is Umaga really Rosie O'Donnell's sign? Like, what the fuck?
His opposition only two.
Looks like Umaga just now realized that there's a sign comparing him to Rosie O'Donnell, and he was like, wait, what did I just see?
See those cross faces.
Nothing that Santino Marella has locked in is even remotely considered a crossface, JR.
High impact.
Umaga was stupid enough to get himself disqualified just so Santino Marella's Intercontinental title reign could last at least another week or two. Well, that was a ripoff of an Intercontinental title match on a Night of Champions. Post-match assault. Maria Kanellis and her random fascination with Santino Marella, which shockingly is enough to lead to a confrontation with Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania the following year.
200
Haha, MVP's pyrotechnics interrupted Justin Roberts in the middle of the ring introductions. MVP is a dick.
MVP going over paying respect to Magnum TA.
JBL is such a freaking dumbass, believing that MVP was paying respect to Magnum TA when he was obviously taunting him and putting his hands on him. What a coincidence that the challenger for the United States Championship is one of Magnum TA's biggest rivals back in the day. MVP won't even let Ric Flair get into the ring. Jeez, save her disrespect for when the bell actually rings or something. Not to be disrespectful, but MVP would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. Ric Flair should have retired from wrestling a long time ago, even way before he actually did. Monologuing is a villain's greatest weakness, and MVP is utilizing that weakness very well. Just because Ric Flair is old doesn't mean he still won't chop your chest off.
Cannot change hand on count out or submission.
Wait, what? So you mean to tell me that if Ric Flair attempted the figure 4 leg lock and made MVP tap out, then he would not win the United States Championship? Well, that's a freaking ripoff. Also, you clearly said before that sentence that submission actually was a way to win the title. Now you're saying it's not? What is the right truth? Also, does this mean disqualification is an option to win the United States Championship in this match since it was never brought up in the rules? Ric Flair wasting valuable time styling and profiling when he should be chopping and figure 4 leg locking.
You see him jiving, you see him talking, you see him ball in.
MVP is literally doing none of those things that JBL just stated. Granted, if he did, he'd be sin for it. But since JBL was technically blind right here, that's where the sin goes.
You see him wearing that all-black outfit.
JBL is also colorblind, having missed the obvious purple on MVP's outfit completely. What is wrong with JBL tonight?
United States title is on the line.
Just in case you didn't hear our constant reminders about the event being a night where every title is on the line.
Oh, look at the cheap shot.
But I guarantee if Ric Flair himself delivered the thumb to the eye, the commentators would be praising him for being the dirtiest player in the game. Hypocrites.
This was Ric Flair's night.
Oh, shut your face, you butthurt asshole. Once again, you would have been cheering if it was Ric Flair who cheated to win. I know this is obvious, but Edge is an asshole.
WWE Tag Team titles, which will be defended in a special challenge.
Wait a minute, so the WWE Tag Team Championship hadn't even had an official match yet prior to this event beginning? That's just lazy. Cherry and her roller skates. And of course, this entire team of Deuce and Domino, if anybody even remembers who the hell these guys were.
I didn't even know you guys were still alive.
OMG, insert name of wrestlers. WTF, thought they were dead, LOL cliche. Haha, I get it, because Deuce is actually the son of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. We're getting to have a father versus son moment that we neither asked for, nor cared for, nor remembered once this was over. Also, adding in another 5 sins because we're wasting the WWE Tag Team Championship match to be against legends who are obviously not winning it anyway. Also, the random team of Jimmy Snuka and Sergeant Slaughter that makes absolutely 0 sense for its existence. Like, who in their right mind takes one look at Jimmy Snuka and Sergeant Slaughter and thinks, you know what? These guys would look great as a tag team. Let's put them in this title match.
I can never remember them teaming together.
All the more reason why this was one of the dumbest decisions to make on this Night of Champions.
Here is the,
Even after botches and slow movements like that, WWE still gets inspired to have old legends compete in top matches for the future. Lord help us all. Screw it, this 6-minute waste of time title match is getting an additional 15 sins because honestly, I can't take any of this seriously. I'm sorry, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Legends should not be wrestling past their prime.
think he's mocking us.
Copy Snuka infringement. Also, I'm actually surprised that neither Michael Cole nor JBL mentioned the fact that Deuce is coincidentally the son of Jimmy Snuka during that moment.
God, what the hell is this?
It's another post-match assault, and I'm gonna sin it, mostly because I'm bored. Am I sinning just because I'm bored?
Hey, Martel!
Wait a minute, if Tony Garea and Rick Martel were still quick enough to perform like that, then why weren't they the ones challenging Deuce and Domino for the tag team titles instead? At least it would have made sense as they were former tag team champions together.
The Rated R era!
Yes indeed, it's the Rated R era, now with less and less Rated R as we go along, to the point where it's just a nickname with no real meaning to it.
That this may be his last opportunity.
Maybe Dave Batista's last opportunity? I don't know if you know this, Michael, but the stipulation clearly stated that this was Dave's last opportunity at Edge's World Heavyweight Championship. The word possibly isn't brought up in this stipulation.
It is his last chance.
Do I seriously have to make a bonus round on the many times that commentators remind us of the fact that this match is Dave's last chance at becoming World Heavyweight Champion?
Interesting interview.
5 more sins added because I can't believe that fans are chanting "You can't wrestle" to freaking Dave Batista in 2007. For one thing, yes, he can wrestle, you assholes, but that shit is unforgivable. Also, isn't Dave the good guy in this feud and Edge is the bad guy in this feud? Why are they directing their verbal assault on Dave? We're not in Toronto or anything.
Move that Edge has is the spear. Oh!
Edge is hanging onto the top rope with an obvious intention of pulling it down once Dave starts charging at him. So Dave's first thought is to charge at Edge and fall for it?
On that apron.
Dave clearly slowed down to the point where even if he hit the ring post, it wouldn't cause him as much damage as he claims to have had.
Edge.
Dave was watching Edge the entire time and could have easily sidestepped out of the way at any moment. Could have led to him gaining the advantage of the match too, but oh well. Edge wasting valuable time posing for the audience when he's got an opponent like freaking Batista. Go ahead and tell me whether you think it's smart or foolish.
Batista, can he capitalize?
One of the weakest Samoan drop attempts I have ever seen. Maybe Dave should rethink adding that into his arsenal.
Hands for Batista. And a spear.
Countering Edge's spear with Dave's own spear was a cool moment. At least we get one center mover out of all this. Heel champion gets intentionally disqualified to escape with his championship out of cowardice cliche. Teddy Long comes out to restart the match on this occasion, but not any of the other hundreds of occasions where a champion intentionally escaped out of cowardice. Dave wasted his valuable Batista bomb on the outside, which is what ultimately causes him to get counted out and lose on his own stupidity.
You gotta be kidding me, that was Batista's last chance!
Well, you can't blame Edge this time because he was the winner. Nobody to blame but Dave.
Did you and Lula go to the drive-in once?
Skip!
Candace has Melina's number!
Insert name of wrestler has got to have his or her opponent's number in this upcoming championship match cliche, and wow, there are a lot of cliches tonight.
Candace put herself in a very vulnerable position.
Careful what you say, JR. Jerry Lawler will hear that phrase and automatically make some sort of annoying sex-related joke out of it.
I bet you $100 to a donut or a barbecued rib. Melina, we know she's a screamer.
My sin counter has cracked like 3 times already because of Melina screaming over the course of these videos. Good thing it's now indestructible and can't be cracked from the screaming.
Oh, Daddy.
Now's not the best time for Candice Michelle to be doing that.
Oh, heel kick. Oh,
Wait, what? That's it? It was that easy to defeat Melina to become the new women's champion? All we gotta do is bump into her and we get the victory? This match was only 4 minutes long, too. JBL wasting valuable time by ordering the timekeeper to force Justin Roberts to read a big piece of paper of whatever the hell, I don't care. Can we, get to the main event or something? At first glance, this main event looks like a massive challenge for John Cena, but when reality kicks in, it was a piece of cake for him. The match only lasted about 10 minutes and was less than challenging despite being labeled as a challenge. Well, it looks in my view that King Booker learned from the best, Patrick Starr. When in doubt, pinky out! What is King Booker doing, balancing on a gymnastics beam? He's on the steel stairs. I don't think he's losing his balance anytime soon, especially with Queen Charmel hanging onto his cape. Over 30 seconds of waiting for John Cena's music to hit. We've been playing everyone else's theme almost immediately after the previous one, but let's just take forever on the final one. Also, nearly 10 goddamn minutes of entrances for a match that's exactly 10 minutes long. We could rewatch the entrances in real time and this main event will be over. King Booker is the only one who's hanging out outside the ring prior to this match beginning. Honestly shocked it wasn't someone like Randy Orton who loves to escape and strike only when the right opportunity pops up. Also, normally I would applaud smart strategies like staying outside the ring and letting everyone else beat the crap out of each other just so you can pick up the pieces. However, there are no eliminations, so staying outside the ring isn't exactly qualifying as a smart choice. Get back in the ring, Booker! It's good if you want to get rid of Randy Orton, but did Mick Foley really have to sacrifice his own well-being just to do that? What the fuck am I saying? This is Mick Foley I'm talking about.
Doesn't actually have to be pinned or made to submit to lose his title.
Well, thanks for stating things we already figured out on our own, Jerry, and years of experience seeing multi-man matches. King Booker grabbing Bobby Lashley's boob. Jesus.
Cannot be counted out.
We get it already. How many times are we going to have to hear the commentator state the obvious about this match? With John Cena's arms outstretched on the canvas and given a plain view that his shoulders are obviously down, the referee still felt like he needed to double check just to be sure. That was clearly John Cena who attacked Randy Orton, not the other way around, JR. Plus, that wasn't even a right hand, that was a shoulder tackle. Removing another sin for that awesome RKO out of nowhere. It's always fun when Randy Orton does that. Gotta feel bad for Bobby Lashley. Gets put through a table, then regains his strength, only just to be accidentally hit in the head with a chair, which ultimately puts him out of the match. So sad, didn't even get close to winning the title tonight. Randy Orton hits his dangerous punt kick and Mick Foley no-sells it by getting himself back up moments later.
Every championship will be on the line. Every championship will be on the line.
Every match tonight is for a champion.